Good morning, everybody. Victoria, good morning to you. How are you?
Good. Happy Friday.
Happy Friday. Lots to get to this weekend. There's a lot of events. Some are somber and some are fun. We will talk about all the 9/11 events going on. We will talk about the other events going on. Lots going on in Florida politics to get to. And you found a crazy story about how to fill a pothole South Florida style. And then we're going to talk to Craig over at the Fright Nights. Hi, Craig. How are you?
I'm well. How are you?
So we're going to get to you in a little bit, but you are going to tell us how Fright Nights is going to work and how you can be a part of it. So we'll talk to you in just a sec.
Excited.
Okay, cool. He was telling me all the stuff and all the things. I was like, oh my gosh. So we'll get to all that stuff coming up here. Coming up in just a little bit. But something that caught my eye new this morning, Victoria, you sent out the things to know push alerts, and it was Biden calling out DeSantis. And I want to know what happened and how that came down.
Sure. So he didn't mention DeSantis by name, but we will play a clip here in a second. That makes it pretty clear who he was talking about. You know, he was laying out his new 6-point COVID plan. The broader points of that, the bigger points are, of course, the vaccine requirements for federal workers. And, for companies that have over 100 employees, they're going to either the employees are going to have to be vaccinated or tested weekly. After he was done talking about all of that, he went into some of his more educational goals and everything. And he basically called out DeSantis, but also Governor Abbott a little bit too, saying that if governors are not going to help ending COVID, if they keep trying to fight mask mandates and things, that the federal government will step in. And here's what he said on that.
To be blunt, my plan also takes on elected officials in states that are undermining you and these life-saving actions. Right now, local school officials are trying to keep children safe in a pandemic while their governor picks a fight with them and even threatens their salaries or their jobs. Talk about bullying in schools. If they'll not help, if these governors won't help us beat the pandemic, I will use my power as president to get them out of the way. The Department of Education has already begun to take legal action against states undermining protection that local school officials have ordered. Any teacher or school official whose pay is withheld for doing the right thing, we will have that pay restored by the federal government 100%. I promise you, I will have your back.
I mean, that is calling.
It basically is, just earlier that day, DeSantis had filed an emergency appeal to reinstate his mask mandate ban as it stands right now. And remember, this isn't the school districts fighting DeSantis on this. This is a lawsuit brought by parents that want the local school governing boards, the superintendents, the school boards to be able to decide whether or not they want to have a mask mandate. Currently, they can. The judge decided in Tallahassee that they were going to, that it was completely within the rights of the school boards to decide to have a mask mandate, and that DeSantis did overreach. DeSantis is currently appealing that. During the appeals process, he wanted the mask mandate ban to stay in place. It's currently not. So that had just happened the morning before.
Now, DeSantis does have a lot of litigation going on with some of his executive orders. What are some of the trials that are going on?
So you've got that one, definitely the mask mandate ban. He's still working out the cruise industry, all of those things with the vaccine passports. But just this morning or late last night, the federal judge knocked down the Florida anti-riot law. This was very much pushed forward by Ron DeSantis, had a lot of different provisions in there. No blocking roadways, increasing the penalties for property damage during a protest. And the federal judge found it to be unconstitutional, and it's currently struck down. DeSantis is expected to appeal like he has all the other decisions so far.
All right. Now, coming up this weekend, there's a lot of tributes going on, remembering 9/11. It's the 20th anniversary. That's half my life ago.
Almost all of mine.
Right, exactly. And so, there's folks that don't even remember it, that are students. Stephanie Susskind filed this report this morning.
The Patriot Memorial here in Wellington is really a beautiful spot to really stop and reflect. And you can see here all of the names of the nearly 3,000 people who died on September 11th, 20 years ago tomorrow. Those names all etched in the glass here. They are split up by the people who were first responders, people who were at the World Trade Center, at the Pentagon, and everywhere else where people tragically lost their lives on that day. And now this memorial in the village of Wellington was actually dedicated 10 years ago on the 10th anniversary of the attacks. And tomorrow morning, leaders will come together to pay tribute once again. The anniversary hits a little differently for everyone, and we spoke to a local therapist who does a lot of work with retired first responders from 9/11. She says they all process the day differently. Some shut down and want to forget, while others choose to memorialize the day. Either way, she says anniversaries like this one falling on the 5 or 10 years can hold more weight than others.
They call it the anniversary effect, and we often are experiencing PTSD-like symptoms at that time. And it happens every year for a lot of people, but when we're hitting the 5s or the 10s of an anniversary year, it does feel more impactful.
And if you'd like to attend this ceremony, it begins at 8:30 tomorrow morning here at the Patriot Memorial. This is right outside Village Hall in Wellington. And there are a number of events all throughout our community. The city of Boynton Beach also hosting an event tomorrow morning. That will be at 10 a.m. at the Boynton Beach Amphitheater. That's at Centennial Park on East Ocean Avenue. Reporting in Wellington, Stephanie Suskind, WPTV News Channel.
And there are several events going on throughout South Florida. We created a whole guide. You can go to WPTV.com, and it's right at the top there. There's even a map of 9/11 memorials like the one that Stephanie showed you. I've spent the entire week going around to these memorials. There's the one on North Lake Boulevard that is there right in front of fire station number 3. That one is, if you look there, that footprint looks like the shield that the firefighters wear, the cross that they wear on their uniforms at times. We've sent Chopper 5 up to get that. There's also one there in Port St. Lucie at the Mid Florida Event Center. It also has a piece of the World Trade Center. You can see some of the concrete block coming out of that one. And then over in Palm City, at the library, there is another memorial that you can spend some time at. So lots of events going on. Let's run through them briefly because I want to get to our guest here. By the way, our radio partner 97.9 WRMF will be playing the national anthem featuring Whitney Houston every hour tomorrow, starting at 8. Running till 5. That's probably the best version of that song. In Boynton Beach, they will have a 9/11 remembrance ceremony at 10 o'clock tomorrow. The Navy SEAL Museum in Fort Pierce will be has a special exhibit, and it will be running through September 19th. They'll debut that tomorrow at 10. In Jupes, we have a 9/11 remembrance spot service tonight at 7 o'clock. In Palm City, there is a remembrance ceremony at 7:45. The Cummings Library will have one at 7 p.m. That's the video we just showed you earlier. In Port St. Lucie, there's a Family Fun Ruck event at 9 o'clock tomorrow. That Mid-Florida Credit Union Event Center that we showed you, they'll have one at 8:30. Royal Palm Beach has theirs at 9:58, a very important time to remember the time the first World Trade Center fell. In Sebastian at 11, they'll have one at 8:30. In Vero Beach, they have the Tunnel to the Towers 5K starting at 7:30. Wellington, where Stephanie was just at, their service begins at 8:30, or their ceremony rather. In West Palm Beach, there's a few things. The Mandel Public Library is showing United 93 and Rain Over Me tomorrow. There's a food drive at the Kravis Center all day, and the Memorial Climb. They're going to go 110 floors because that was how many floors were at the World Trade Center, starting at 9 o'clock, and that's all happening tomorrow. So lots of stuff to do, lots of stuff to remember. So make sure you guys get out there and do something near you. There just ran through a whole slew of events that you can participate in. We're happy to share those with you. Okay, there's Charlie, boyfriend checking in. Appreciate that.
Good morning.
Mom checked in.
I saw your
too.
Mom earlier. Yeah.
Yeah, I've lost
it. That's so sweet.
Let's see. Anything else going on about 9/11 that we want to share? Mom has her little flag out.
Seems like just about every area kind of has their own celebration going on. So if anybody wants to attend one, there's, you don't have to go too far.
Absolutely. I'm going to shift gears, like a hard shift here, because the Fright Nights is coming back at the South Florida Fairgrounds. We didn't get to have it last year, and so it's coming back this year. Craig and Alex are really two of the masterminds behind Fright Nights. You guys have been doing it for as long as I've been reporting on it, so it's been a while. Now, you guys, first of all, Craig, Alex, there's going to be some changes, obviously, because of COVID. What are some of the changes that are coming to Fright Nights?
Oh,
I don't know if Craig
here. Yeah, there you
I
are.
can answer.
Go ahead.
We're going to follow. We're going to follow protocols that you would expect to be followed. We're going to concentrate on social distancing. Our staff is going to be completely masked up, whether it's crew or the cast themselves. We are adjusting scares so that there's more distance. The masks that we have, like your typical Halloween mask, will be then fitted with the actual filter inside the mask. So, just a basic shift over. Without changing the scares too much and without changing the quality that people expect of us, and all the things that you experienced, TA, when you were out there will still be there. They'll just be safe.
My gosh. You guys know this is not my thing. I love you guys, but I cannot stand being scared. And you guys scare the bejesus out of me every year. And you do that because you have the help of some volunteers and some paid employees, right?
Correct.
So you're doing something this weekend. What's that?
Alex, you want to
I love the makeup.
Our
casting call?
going to be this Sunday at noon. Theater. We're going to be hiring about a good 120 actors and volunteers for our event. So that's going to be a fun event on this Saturday or this Sunday. Sorry, Sunday.
This video that Doreen sent over from the South Florida Fair of your Fright Night casting is just creepy. I mean, just imagine walking around in daylight and seeing these creepy folks. And what kind of people are the ones that really get into this? Because you got to have a special gene, right?
Yeah, it is. It starts with Halloween enthusiasts, just people who like the holiday. It's like their favorite holiday. And I think that I can speak for Alex and I, that's us. And then it moves into, people who were into drama in high school or are still in high school and are in drama clubs or acting in plays, or they're performers in general. And then you get some people who are just like, I think that would be fun. And across the board, all those people are great at it. All those people end up being great at it. If they're really into it and they have it's a tough job, if they're really into the physicality of it and sweating bullets because of the wardrobe and everything, it usually works out. We have, I would say, about a 70% return cast, which is wonderful because then you're getting these people who are well seasoned to do the hard job.
Do they do their own makeup and costumes, or do you guys kind of have set that up for them?
We have a full makeup and wardrobe department and a bunch of professionals on all levels of production. If you any of the big haunted houses out there are going to have that going on, and we're no exception to that.
Alex, you were saying this is happening at the South Florida Fairgrounds on Sunday at noon. Can you give us any tips or little sneak previews of what haunts are going to be happening this year?
Ooh.
Stay tuned. The haunts will be released Monday morning.
He diverted you quickly.
I'm not allowing it. 9:15 in the morning. You're up. We got to get something.
Just give us a hint.
We haven't released it yet. A teaser.
I know.
A teaser is that two of the haunted houses have never been seen before, and one is a full redesign, and one has to do with being shipwrecked.
Okay.
Okay. Very South Florida. All right.
Breaking news right here.
Designers are killing me just for that little tidbit.
I was gonna say you're gonna get them in so much trouble.
Yeah, but they can play this back and see they got pressure. If they get to scare me every year, I get to pressure them for things. See, it's
fair enough.
Thing. All right, Alex, Craig, thank you so much for being on with us.
Our pleasure.
And we can't wait to y'all's work this year. Take care. Bye. So that looks like it's going to be a
You're
lot
not
of
a
fun.
haunted house guy, TA?
I'm not. I think I told you when we were talking about Halloween Horror Nights at Universal that I'm like Ellen's producer when she sends him through those things. I don't understand why people walk through them so slowly. It doesn't make any sense to me. We got a little bit off track because we had guests, so I want to go back up and get the things that we missed. New this morning, how do you fill a pothole Florida style? You know, we're Florida. We're always weird. You found something pretty weird.
So this is a Florida man, true and true. So he'd had trouble getting this pothole filled. It's kind of on a side roadway to his business, and he was just sick of it. So he planted a banana tree. Not sure how good that is for the tree, but it certainly made the point. Got the city officials' attention. But ironically, the city officials say that's actually a private road and not our business. So you need to talk to the road owner. But definitely got some national attention on that problem.
There was an electrical company, not FPL, that was doing some work near my house, running some power line. No, it really wasn't FPL. They were from out of state. And they put those big feet down on the road so that they could balance their cars when they put the cherry pickers way up, or their trucks rather. Mm-hmm. Well, it created a pothole that was about that deep and about this wide and about this wide. And I ran over it full blast and blew out 2 of my tires. So I would have appreciated a banana plant warning me of said, issue. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah, when those things fill with water, you just don't know how deep it is. You'll go right through in tires.
Yeah, and if you're going 45 miles per hour, which is the speed limit, you're going to take out your tires and blow them out. And just a little tip, if you live in the town of Jupiter, I'm sure the other municipalities have this too. They actually have a Google map that you can drop a pin where your pothole is and report it. And I reported it on a Saturday morning, and the next business day, which was Monday, it was filled up and repaired by the time I got home from running some errands. So I thought that was pretty efficient, and they did a great job.
That's impressive. I mean, I lived in Houston where, literally, so my fiance works for, FDOT now, TxDOT then, the Department of Transportation. And they said there were so many potholes in Houston, unless they got 10 calls about the same pothole, they weren't going out there.
Oh, really? Well,
that was literally the policy.
Jupiter has a little different. Just so you know, Sunday Night Football is back. We got the Bears versus the Rams. And this week's watch party is going to be at Jumbie Bay. And that's my little stomping grounds at 7 o'clock in Jupiter. They are going to have half-price appetizers and deals on buckets of beer. And they our executive producer, Peter Burke, that's his bar for FSU games, official bar. So you can watch that. The same deals apply there. And our executive producer, Pete, he got them to install 2 more large screen TVs. So that's happening there this weekend for Sunday Night Football. He's very particular about football.
He actually told us recently that he officiated his sister's wedding, and throughout the wedding, he compared marriage to FSU football. And I got to read the speech. It was something.
College football games is happening this weekend. We have Florida versus South Florida at 1. We have App State against Miami at 7 o'clock. JSU versus your team FSU at 8 o'clock. BCU versus UCF at 6:30. Mercer versus Alabama at 4. We have UAB versus Georgia at 3:30, and then we have Oregon versus Ohio State at noon. None of those games really sound exciting. They kind of seem like, what do you call those games? Powder puff?
Yeah, they're powder puffs. They're cream puffs. It's the second week of college football. The first week, maybe you'll have some exciting ones. Like we had, Miami, Alabama did not pan out to be that exciting. Second week, you're going to see a lot of those big teams schedule smaller schools that they literally pay to come play them and be beat. I think the only good ranked matchup this week is probably Iowa State. That'll be an interesting game just because, in addition to being both ranked teams, big rivalry. But all the Florida teams, except for, you have USF playing Florida, should have a pretty easy walk of it. We'll see how Miami recovers from their Alabama beatdown. That hurt FSU for a while, but they should be fine.
And the Cowboys were just behind the Buccaneers yesterday, my Cowboys. I mean,
that game is way closer than I thought it was going to be.
Way closer than I think us Cowboy fans thought, too. I did, though, today bring my Cowboys mask just to prove that I am a fan. and I will still support them. I have it right
Okay, and
here.
he actually lived in Texas, guys. He's not just a bandwagon fan that was alive in the 90s. You know, he
Oh no, it
lived
was
there.
required by law to be a fan of the Cowboys. You got your horse, your oil, and you got your requirement of to be a college or a Cowboys fan. Okay, Disney on Ice. Check this out. This looks like a lot of fun. I don't know if the video is playing, but
Yes.
I think
I kind of see Mickey breaking it down. Oh, there's Minnie.
There we go. Disney on Ice is in town. Yeah, I think so.
Coco.
Toy Story's there. The little Green Army Men, Aladdin, they're there. I guess that was Pocahontas.
Moana.
And yep, Frozen.
Moana. Wow.
So they're going to be at the BB&T Center all weekend long. And then next week, they're going to be at that new arena. It's newly named arena, old arena. What used to be called the AAA, it's now called the FTX Arena, which is a Bitcoin thing. And you're going to... Right. So because I think American Airlines is going through bankruptcy, they're not allowed to have any sponsorship of buildings and whatnot, naming rights. So FTX took the opportunity to sponsor that. Tickets start at $25. So this weekend they're at BB&T, next weekend at the FTX Arena. And it looks like it's going to be a lot of fun and a great little distraction if you want to do something magical this weekend. Would you take your kid to this?
Oh my gosh, my daughter would love that. I mean, we basically have, Disney music radio on all the time. Those are all of her favorites, and especially Frozen. I feel like Disney on Ice probably has a lot of Frozen, so she would love that.
There seems to be a lot of Frozen and a lot of throwbacks, and I guess you follow Tinkerbell around as she gets clues and you solve a story. So that sounds like it's going to be a lot of fun. I
didn't realize it had like a plot. I thought it was just like, you bring out the different acts and there's a dance. I've never been.
I haven't either, but it looks like it's really well done. Do you know what Triller Fighter Club is?
I don't think we're supposed to talk about Fight Club. I thought that was like the only rule.
True. Well, former cruiserweight and heavyweight undisputed world champion Evander, the real deal Holyfield, will battle former UFC heavyweight world champion Vitor the Phenom Belfort in an 8-round clash. The fight is Saturday night at 6 at the Hard Rock Live in Hollywood. The only tickets left start at $81. Now, I don't get into
Aren't they going to have a very special announcer? I feel like I did hear about this.
Oh, is there? I would assume so because it's pay-per-view. I didn't realize this is why we have.
Check it's the site I'm thinking of. Yes, Google. But somebody mentioned by quite a lot of our. Let's see. Hold on, I'm gonna double check here, but I think I am correct. That would be former President Donald Trump.
Really?
He will be there announcing. Yep, that is what he will be doing tomorrow.
So he'll be making like an appearance, actually like announcing the whole thing.
No, he's supposed to announce the match. He's
in the
going
beginning.
in for. I don't know what the announcers say. No, I think he's supposed to give commentary throughout.
Kind of a thing.
A little bit of that, but I think they're also expecting him to do some commentary. I know he went to the match between Jake Paul and Floyd Mayweather, so he seems to be a boxing fan.
There you go. Okay, well, that sounds like that should be something we'll be talking about on Monday.
Probably.
All right, everybody, have a great weekend. Be kind to everyone and use your turn signal, please. It tells people where you're going. Bye.
And left lane is for passing. Fun things that a lot of Florida drivers maybe don't know.
Yeah, you don't know.